Welcome guys, this is Theo from Philo Concepts, and today we'll be talking about making a selection from an image. So I'll just open up Photoshop, click on File, Open. No, let's just create a new file. I'm not really going to name this. Just hit OK. I'll click and drag this here. So I'll bring up my zoom tool and fit this to the screen. Now we want to import an image, so we hit File, go to Open. Notice that the shortcut is Ctrl O. So I could just bring up this Mercedes again, hit Open. Now we have this image right here. Now, making a selection, we could, first of all, we want a transparent background. We do not want taking out this image to affect other parts of the image. So we are going to set this to a layer by double clicking on the lock and hitting OK. Now notice that this is a layer, so if I bring up my move tool, I could move this about. Ctrl C to undo. Now the first way I'm going to talk about is we're going to be using the eraser tool. So if I bring up my zoom tool and zoom in right here, I could hit E or right click here and bring up my eraser tool. I notice that the tool is very big, so I could hit the left bracket key, which is located next to your enter or above it, depending on the keyboard you are using. If you can't find it, you could just right click on any portion, then you could resize from here. So I could set it to 20 pixel and hit enter. Now it's 20 pixel. Now with the eraser tool, we could erase this portion of the image we do not want. So how to do this? I'm just clicking and dragging over the portion I want to take out. So I'm taking out this portion using the eraser tool. You do this carefully. Maybe taking them out gradually. So let me just fast forward this video till I'm done. Okay, now we want to take this entire portion of the image out, and a way to do that is we could just increase the size of our eraser tool, reset it to hard, then we just brush over this portion to delete that part of the image. We do not want carefully doing that. Oops, I erased some parts of the image. So we could do that, or Ctrl Z to undo. We could use the lasso tool. I'm going to use the normal lasso tool. I could click and drag at this part. I'm not really editing, just showing you guys, so I'm not going to be entirely perfect. So when I leave it, it creates a selection for us. So what I'll do is, because the selection is over this part, we want to take out this part, so we will invert our selection. So now the selection is over this part. Now if we hit delete on our keyboard, the delete button, it just takes out that portion. So let me just undo. So we could start with the eraser, we take out some parts, then we use the lasso tool over that. then we hit the delete button and it will vanish. So let's undo everything. I do not want to. So that's it for the eraser and lasso tool. The third thing I want to talk about is using the quick selection tool. Now the quick selection tool, hit W on your keyboard or you right click on this fourth icon right here, then you select quick selection. Now with the quick selection, you could just W, you could just click and drag from any portion of the image. So this is the part we want. I'll click and drag over here. Okay, it's selecting the shadow too, so you just work with it. Now with this part selected, we could invert the selection and hit delete. This is going to delete that portion out. So I'll hit Ctrl Alt and Z to undo. Another way to do that is after our selection, we do not invert. We just hit the layer mask selection right here. We add a layer mask to it, and this is going to create a layer mask for us. So the actual image is not affected. We just have a layer mask selecting this portion and neglecting the other part. So with this, we could just move our image about. We have a selection right here. The third thing I want to talk about, so let me just undo everything. The third thing I want to talk about is let's recreate this as a layer, is using the pen tool. And the pen tool will give you a more precise and accurate selection because it really takes time, but it's more accurate than using the quick selection tool or the eraser or the lasso tool. So the pen tool, you just bring it up by hitting P or just clicking this icon right here. So you click on any portion of the image, I'll click here, my hand is shaking. Then I'll click and drag from here. Okay, then I'll click and drag from this side, and I'll click and drag from that side. So you'll be doing this very gently. I'll click. If it's quite circular, then you have to click and drag. So let me move my cursor right here. I'll click and drag because this part is quite curvy. I'll click and drag from here too. Now if I click here, this thing is going to be curved because it has an anchor point right here. So it's actually taking this point into consideration. Now we don't want it that way, so to bring this back up, we'd hold our Alt key. Now the Alt key brings up this arrow, so at this anchor portion we could just click and bring it back to the point we want to start again. So once we are done, we could just continually be clicking. So let me just fast forward this video. Okay, so once we get to this portion with this icon showing up that we could close the loop, you click, let me zoom out so you see the point the pen tool creates. So we'll go back to our pen tool, then on the image we right click and we go to make selection. So we create a selection out of this, leave everything as it is, so we hit OK and it creates a selection. You see that this selection is quite perfect as compared to the quick selection tool. So with this we could create a layer mask over it and we have our image sitting right here, or we could undo, we could bring up any of the selection tool like the wand, the lasso, the marquee, any of the selection tool. We right click, then we invert. A shortkey for inversion is control, holding down shift and pressing I. So you notice that I'm going to do it one more time. Control Alt I. Now you notice that the image or the selection is inverted again. One more time, you notice that it's inverted again. So we want to take out this particular portion. So once we've inverted it, we just hit the delete key on our keyboard, then it just takes it out. So Control D to undo the selection. So this is our image. Now we can drag this and drop it onto our main document. Then we can apply certain features like the shadow and other stuff on it. So this is all for today, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.